What's up, everyone? It's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Report, and today we're here to talk about Daemons of the Shadow Realm, episode 5. And before we dive into this week's episode, I love when I suspect something and I end up being right. I'm sorry, I just do. Because I mentioned the possibility of it being like rogue or masterless daemons, and we pretty much got that confirmed this episode because we learned that if a daemon welder master is like unalived, then the daemon becomes what's called a stray daemon, and they'll just be running around causing havoc, and they'll just be stuck where they are, and it takes like eons for them to go away. So that was a big deal, and that was one of the biggest takeaways of this episode. But let's get into the meat of it, as the smoke between Yuru and Jin is definitely there. Both of these guys basically said, I've been holding back. Yuru recognized that Jin wasn't really trying to fight to kill him, and also Jin kind of noticed that about Yuta as well. So something that I'm very excited to see is these two guys like go all out without holding back, and let's see what they can actually do. Now, some things did transpire this episode to make me think that we might not get it directly with these two, but there's some animosity there. There's that want to one up with Yuru and Jin. Also with the Daemons as well, left and right are looking at the tortoise in their hair like, nah, it ain't going down like this. We got to get a run back. So that was really exciting, and we get a lot of that at the top of the episode. Besides picking up where we left off with Yuru telling Jin, I want to see my sister. Use that little weird device that you had to call my sister, bring her here, and then we can just go out from there. So one thing that's been very good about this series is that you really don't know what side you want to take between the Kagemoris and like the village. They've been doing a really good job with convincing me that the Kagemoris aren't as bad as they came out to be, and they might actually be the preferred side, because Jin was basically like, no, I'm not calling Asa here. I'll bring you to her. Come with me to my mansion. I can assure you that you will not be hurt. We will treat you like a guest, and then you can meet her that way. Naturally, because Yuta does not know about these people, he's kind of like reserved about doing that. He's not really cool with it, but he wants to see his sister. He wants to ease things over, so he's going to give the Kagemori the benefit of the doubt while he does this. And he's also still being watched by Hana's dog, Daemon. So it's still there for surveillance or for safety or anything if they need it. But I'm liking the dynamic that we're building between these characters as we get more and more of it. We're naturally learning more and more about the cast and their daemons, as well as we learn more about people from the Kagemori. And forgive me because I did forget like the names of some of the other characters. I'm still learning them right now, so I'll just go by and describe them. One thing that I'm noticing, it seems like everybody has two daemons, but then that won't be the case unless Gabby has one that she's going to unlock later or something. But for the most part, the people we've been seeing been having two. Yuru has left and right. We have this bald dude who they kind of noticed that he didn't have a daemon. He was like, so are you just not a fighter? Are you here? What are you doing? Left and right pointed that out. And he was like, no, we can sense them. But he was like, yeah, my daemons are behind me, but you know what? They're too big to fit in here. And you just saw like a gigantic eye. So it's like, what the hell is this dude? Does he have like titans on his side or something? So that was interesting. So like the bald dude, he had two giant titans. The blonde guy on the Kagemori side, he has the tortoise in the hair. Again, the smoke is there between those two and left and right. They definitely want the rematch on that. And we learn more about Jin's demons, as well as he has two fish, and he called them basically like kind of the janitors, because the big fish is called Ai, and Ai can basically like clean up entire areas of things. He can kind of like wipe it up like it never existed. Then the smaller fish is called Makoto, and Makoto can store things that Jin gives it. So that's how he gets past security with like weapons and things like that. That's how it just had that whole arsenal that is spewed out. And if you really think about it, this guy would be the perfect assassin. Like if he wanted to like murk somebody and make them disappear, he would have no problems doing that with these two daemons. So there's that as well. So it's interesting to start to expand the world and start seeing more and more people, seeing more and more daemons, and just seeing the plot naturally progress Again, something that I really want to point out is that they really did a good job this episode with making me actually side for the Kagemori and actually want to be on their side. Because contrary to the beliefs of what we've seen from episode 1, and we're way past that now, the Kagemoris don't seem to be bad people. In fact, they're very ecstatic to see Yuru, especially Asa. I mean, the scenes that we got with Asa meeting her brother was just so cute and wholesome, because she's just like, oh, my brother, oh, come here, give me a hug me, please. And he's like, no. And she's like, oh, I haven't seen you for so long. Can I have a hug? I'll do whatever you say. I'll answer any questions. Just give me a hug. And he's like, no, get away from me. You're not my sister. You're not the one I remember. And if you are, something's going on. So he shut her down like 3 times, but it was just so cute and sibling-like at the same time. So I'm really liking to seeing that with them as well. And going off the fact that the Kagemori seem a little bit more wholesome and kind of was just doing what they had to do, it does make me still wonder who is the villains of the series. Now, I do have a strange suspicion because this week we meet a character by the name of Asama, and I don't know. I've watched enough anime that when you see a certain character who has like kind of the closed eyes a little bit and just a little sly smile and nobody wants him around, yeah, that dude's either insane or he's a straight up like in-level villain. Like, we've seen this over and over, and that's what we got with this episode today. Again, it was just big to see just the buddying friendship that's beginning to come between the Kagemori, Asa and Yuta, and everybody as they're becoming a unit for reasons that I'm getting to right now. And also just pointing out like what's going on overall, because once things settled, once Yuru got into, I probably called him Yuta by mistake, but anyway, once Yuru got into the Kagemori mansion, Asa starts to elaborate a little bit more on her parents, or their parents rather, because even though she escaped with her parents all those years ago, her parents still aren't around. So I don't know, like, I don't want to go ahead and say these parents are deadbeats or that they're bad, but they're not doing a good job with actually being around right now, as also starts to break down that their mother was actually from Okinawa. So she was from Japan, and like her family started to worry about her, especially like when she started getting involved with her father. So the parents went on a plane to go visit like the mom's parents and just, you know, let them know that they're okay. And then Asa reveals that they mysteriously disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to them once they got on that plane. Now, they did have a guardian with them, which brings up suspicions, because Yuru was like, wait a minute, if this person was supposed to guard them and be with them, why did they all disappear? Was this an inside job? So there's still that animosity between the two parties here. Me personally, I think it's a third party involved. I don't necessarily want to say it was an inside job, not intentionally. I mean, I can't 100% say that with confidence. It might still be somebody involved with the Kagemori, but it's definitely a third party working with this, and we're about to start seeing the Kagemori and, you know, the village probably start working together over this third party. And then we also have the speculation that there are different, you know, stray type of Daemons and stuff going around too. Like, even the Kagemori have like a lot of Daemons. I think everybody in that village probably has one, but they have a barrier around their estate, just like how the village has as well. So that was a big point of the episode, is we're going to start peeling back the layers of what happened to Yuru and Asa's parents. But just when things start to get chill, you know, you can never rest for too long. The estate actually gets attacked by some Daemons that nobody knows. So that goes back to questioning, are the Kagemori actually the villains here? But we're left on a big cliffhanger on this episode. I'm not exactly convinced that the Daemons that attacked at the end are like the villains, because there was another set that attacked Gabby as well. So we're going to see her go in next episode probably. But one thing that I do want to point out is that Dara did go after Yuta once he found out where he was. Very like nonchalant, just like how he is. But it's kind of getting me to wonder, like, does he have a Daemon as well? I mean, I know we haven't seen it yet. I have a feeling that the two that we saw at the end belong to Dara, and then the ones attacking are going to be for the bad guys. But I don't know. We'll just have to see where that leaves us. It's also important to note that someone is reporting everything that's going on with the Kagemori, Asa, and Yuru. So I mean, I'm saying it's not an inside job, but it probably is. But I don't think it's cut and dry as we think. Some other things I was mentioning is they also mentioned that Asa is like weaker at night, like her abilities are weaker. So I know we still haven't really got into the whole night and day thing and what's that about, but I'm more curious about that as well, because it seems like this type of thing doesn't affect Yuru because he's still a beast in the day or night. Maybe it's because Asa actually has abilities. Maybe Yuru does too, but he doesn't know it yet. So it's a lot of things in this series that's interesting me. Also, I don't know, like the narrative again is being painted now that the Kagemori and like the rest of the cast are going to be working together because it is a whole nother party that they have to fight. But guys, let me know what you thought. Again, I thought this was a very solid episode, as I am excited to watch this every Saturday. I'm even more excited to talk about it. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not and you're new around here. Be sure to hit that bell so when I do drop a new video, you're notified. Also follow your boy at The Scott Report on Twitch for weekend gaming goodness. You know, we play fighting games, variety, Marvel Rivals, all that good stuff. And as I always say, you guys could be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. And I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.